Hey, what's up, baby? I just got off the phone with you, and I haven't made you a message in a while, so I wanted to do this while I'm on my lunch break. And I just found after we got off the phone, I was sitting here like going over my mind the main points of what we talked about, and a very uncomfortable point came out in our conversation that while you and I was talking, I didn't want to sound defensive and I didn't want to sound or be dismissive. I really wanted to hear your sincere input about your view. And out of that conversation, I found out that I am not the type of friend that you need. That sounds a little harsh. Maybe I should reword that. As a friend, I don't fulfill every aspect of that with you. Maybe that's a better way of putting that. And in a lot of ways, I feel like that's okay. It was very humbling to know that, but it's not something I'm personally going to cry about and figure out how I can be the 100% friend, because the things that you were describing in terms of what you look for in a friend in terms of sharing, because it seems that was the only thing that you talked about, sharing particular interest, and the big thing was sharing the makeup and shopping and your current interest in doing that. The reality is that I do not take interest in that. But that wasn't the humbling thing. The humbling thing was in the midst of the conversation, I realized that you were actually more of a friend to me, excuse me, than I as a friend to you. It probably shouldn't be surprising because you tend to be more giving than I am. But at least in that realm, I thought that at least I can measure up to some part, and knowing that I don't, that I find more. What's the word? I find more comfort in being a friend to you, from you, than you get from me. That's crazy. Yeah, because I truly don't. If I don't make any new friends for the rest of my life, I don't think it would be a very big, devastating thing for me. Now, not only because I do find total friendship in you, but life is very busy. Just in general, life is busy for me now. I don't foresee it getting any easier as time progresses, because of course, with more stuff that you get involved with, the more responsibilities it is, and so being tied up in all that, you don't really have a whole lot of time to entertain a lot of friends and nourish a whole bunch of relationships. Some things are going to be neglected. So I'm very comfortable with my dynamic just at the house. If that's all it is, then that's all it is between you and my daughter. But that's not the case for you. Now, in times past, you've expressed that, and we kind of go in and out. We bounced ideas back and forth in terms of what you personally look for in a friend and what you always desire in terms of that female companionship. And I never really got why that's such a very big deal. But like I said, upon completion of this particular conversation, now I get a better understanding in terms of what it is that what you want to accomplish in the kind of friendship, and that's just to share those interests. And you stating that you are more flexible than I am in terms of what you're interested in versus what I'm interested in. What it is the truth. If it let's just cut it, I am. Let's just make this thing black or white and look at it for what it is. That is true. You do share in my primary interest. now I could be analytical, and I can look at it as what is your degree of interest and all that. But I'm not really looking for that, because that in doing that, I'll just be looking for a reason to argue. But you do take an interest and a concern that I acknowledge in things that I'm interested in. And the stuff that you're interested in is kind of weird. It's a weird dynamic, because I remember in times past, like when you was doing the interior decorating deal, and I have no interest in it. I really don't. I do I'm interested in the concepts of interior decorating, especially in terms of the spatial relevancy and understanding how things can be placed next to each other and utilizing space to the best of the ability. Taking a small room and making it look bigger just by adding high ceilings and stuff like that. Like, I do pay attention to that, and I dig that. And I remember when I used to read the type of magazines that you read to get a better understanding of interior decorating and colors to look for and what's in season, what's out of season, stuff like that. I remember trying to talk to you about it, and your comparison, not exactly as I'm about to put it, but in just, it's like talking to a kindergartner, while you have a college degree about particular topic, because my knowledge is limited in the particular field, because it's not something that I have a particular interest in. I was just trying to pick up at least talking points that I can converse with you with, and it was like, no, it's not working. And that was just me trying, and it didn't work out that well. So I kind of took that, and you and I discussed that. It was what it was. It's just again, it's just my reality. Things I like, I like. Things I don't like, I don't like. It like I say, it is what it is. But it doesn't stop me from trying to educate myself. And you was talking about your interest in makeup, applying makeup, types of colors, going to the store just for the sake of what kind of makeup is out and all that. I'm not going to be interested in that. It actually involves two of the things that I detest. One, shopping. Two, makeup. I really, really don't like neither one of them. So it's like, dang, I can't share with you in that. I really can't. Like, I can, I was thinking about it now, like, I could do some research on how to apply makeup, because I would like to have some kind of knowledge, working knowledge at least. If you weren't around or you weren't there, I can help Olivia. But at the end of the day, and this isn't about a stereotypical role, because I have no problems with learning how to do makeup as a man. I don't care about that. I just don't care about it. It's just not my interest. It's not in my field. So, sorry I can't share with you on that. But from that area, again, I see why you desire that female companionship and sharing that. And I'm sure there could be some men out there that are very apt at describing techniques and stuff like that, but it would be pretty weird to kind of develop a bond or relationship with another man in that kind of realm. It gets kind of tricky, from that aspect. So the whole purpose of this video was to acknowledge that, understanding that you are perceived to be more flexible than I am when it comes to different areas of interest. And when you said that, we didn't go into details on and what all that meant, but I understood where you was coming from, because I am an extremely metaphysical type person, and I like to get into concepts and philosophies, and the length of me getting into it, I know I wear on your patience, but you are very patient and allow me to get a lot of stuff off my chest and my heart in doing that. You probably wouldn't go as far with me if you was to talk about all the different makeup colors. I would probably be knocking my head against the window. Oh man, it kills me. So, in me saying that, I am showing my rigidness and not being able to adapt. So, sorry, boo. Yeah, that's humbling. That's super humbling. Uh, I just wanted to make this video to acknowledge that. Like, I get it. And the honest truth is that probably that won't change. Probably not. Probably not. Like I said, I can do some research to update myself in terms of the conversation and try to share the interest with you, but it wouldn't be coming from a genuine place. And it's weird because I look at, man, I listen to podcasts about everything, man, about famous tumors, the real founders of the helix structure of DNA, which was Rosalind something. They called her the dark woman of DNA or something like that because she was Crick and Watson stole her research essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, I pay attention to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that's completely outside of my realm, that's not pertaining to my everyday. I just love information, you know what I'm saying? But the very couple of things that just don't hit any type of spaces in my mind are things that you are into for right now. And it's like, dag, homie, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. So, the planning and in terms of flowers and whatnot, I actually don't have a problem with that. And discussing techniques of how to plant certain flowers and whatnot. My problem is just in a given situation that we're in and investing, any kind of resources towards that particular endeavor to me is a waste of time because of the various plants we already have. So, it brings a sour note in my mind in that regards, and that's why I probably don't entertain a lot of conversation in that. So that's more of a personal feeling versus whether it's an interest for me or not, because I actually love yard work and I actually love doing yard work, and I actually am into planting and looking at, I told you I love fruit trees, and I love plants that yield fruit in general. When I mean fruit, I'm using it figuratively because it could be nuts, pecans, or anything really that's edible. I'm into. So that's not an issue for me. It's an issue for me right now because of where we're at. All right, this video probably is not as organized as I would like to be in terms of my thoughts. When I backtrack to just off the top of my head a couple of times, but it's just because as ideas that come to me, I'm just speaking out loud. But nothing romantic, just acknowledging that you're a better friend to me than I am to you. Tear. Love you. See you soon.